say a command or say help.
Take me to toilet paper now.
Sorry, what type of destination, address,
Toilet paper,
intersection,
store,
place of interest,
no,
or contact?
no! You can change the motherfucking parking sensor beep tone so you can write a song. You ready? You ready? We're gonna do it. Excuse me? Excuse me? Don't call like you're sucking dick.
So personally, I found that the best way to make a meringue is to start out depressed. Goddamn IKEA Swedish goddamn. You know, this is one of the few times I can say that I've screwed 40 times tonight. What do you think, Long John Silver? Now, you know there, buddy, instead of just sitting there watching me like a wet blanket, you could offer to help. You see me assembling this table. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Long John Silver, you raggedy ass painting you got. Oh!
Guess I'm just a playdate to you. You know, what isn't a playdate? Learning this fucking instrument. This floppy, flaccid ass looking instrument. Can someone kindly explain to me why American middle-aged suburban men act so strange as soon as they enter a hardware store? Well, paint me red and call me a barn there. Randy, is that you, buddy? How the hell are ya? What's that? Oh, Bill, buddy, as I live and breathe, who let you out of the loony bin? Oh, Randy, you always were a goof, you rusty cotter pin. Hey, Lonnie told me you're building a new deck. Well, Bill, Lonnie's right, that old tease. I'm here getting ready to refinish the deck there. Say, how's your 2x4 holding up? My 2x4? Yeah, I just said it like a second ago. Well, gee, I say you better ask the wife, huh? A lot of girls tell me, Dylan, it must be nice to have a thigh gap like that. And I say, no, it ain't. Everything falls through my lap. My wallet, my keys, my college GPA. It's time for a random fact. It wasn't always Prindle. Before automatic shift patterns were standardized and mandated, some older cars like this one used the pattern of Pundler. They moved away from this because old Carol going down the road would want to switch into low range for engine braking, but she'd go a little too far and she'd hit reverse and she would get yeeted into last week. Whoever made this instrument is a sick individual. They took my beautiful piano and they shrank down the keys to the size of chiclets. It is all up in my grill so much that I need to play like some fucking pigeon trying to grab a hold of a french fry in a Wendy's parking lot, and I can't stand it. Don't get me started on these buttons right here, because not only are there 11,400 billion of them, but someone decided that it would be great that I can't see them. What keeps you up at night? Nothing. Nothing at all.
Enemy AC-130 above!
What if I told you that there isn't an unexpected item in the bagging area? What if I told you that I swiped it and you booped it, you asked me to put it in the bag, I put it in the bag? So why are you then gonna turn around and stab me in the back, you little 4-foot bullshit automated demon? You really think I'm trying to Houdini the shit out of a box of bran flakes? Get real! Uncle Ben. Aunt Jemima. They're definitely fucking. Well, good day to you. Do you mind lending me a hand for a quick second? I am a bona fide millennial, but people on TikTok got me feeling like I'm a certified boomer. What does ooh-woo mean? When you say ooh-woo who? Ooh-woo you, ooh-woo me. Who ooh-wooed it? Am I the ooh-wooer or the ooh-woo-wee? Doesn't make any sense. People are like, oh, Dylan, it's just a face. Well, then why are you saying it? How do you pronounce a face? Tell me, am I the only one who had zero warning signs at all that they were going to be gay growing up? I mean, I was straight as hell right up until I was 17. And then I must have hit my head or something because I woke up gay as shit. I mean, I went from Call of Duty to Tutti Frutti in a matter of seconds. You know, the only thing I can think of is around the age of 8, I did start referring to women as the breasted. How's my day going? Well, I got out of bed this morning and I dressed up like this to buy a loaf of bread, so, you know, it's scary.
Squeeze the whip.
You
didn't
the
want all this moisture in your pie. You're gonna get all the moisture out. Cause let me tell you, once you put the chicken in there, you don't want this soaked up in the chicken. Chicken tastes funny.
Wellness have come up with a low-calorie cassava
I
pie.
bet you it tastes like
Did you guys grow up with that one remedy your folks had for everything? In Bermuda, where I'm from, the answer is Vicks Vapor Rub. Hey, you got a chest cold? Now you're cured. Can't sleep? Vicks got your back. Fender bender? Who needs insurance? Bills? Gone! Tell me, is it just me, or does the one day that you look like shit, the one day that all of the attractive people in your vicinity just crawl out of the woodwork? I've been going to the hardware store every day for the past 7 days looking good, but the one day that I look like I've crawled out of purgatory is the one day that all of the Adonises just grace the aisles. I'm covered in sawdust and I smell like 10W40, but today is the day that you 6-foot bullshit tan chiseled motherfucker decided to small talk with me. Where were you when I looked good? The US is a bit brainwashed when it comes to teeth whitening, because despite the countless expensive products you see on store shelves, there's actually only one ingredient that whitens teeth, and it costs less than water. That's right, 3% hydrogen peroxide is the only job doer behind all the fancy marketing in white strips, trays, toothpastes, and mouthwashes. All you do is mix 1 part water with 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide and swish. Heckin' mint. Which means, yes, 2 of these does the same as 1 of those. And I know it's funny taking dental advice from a British citizen, but you don't need to take my word for it. It's always been a use of hydrogen peroxide, so long as you get 3%.
What are you looking at?
Peppermint patties from 1946. Now, I didn't know that one could make these at home. I thought it was a closely guarded industrial process. But apparently not. Take that, big peppermint. We start with 1 cup of sweetened condensed milk. In goes 1.5 teaspoons of peppermint extract. Be very careful with this. Stuff's stronger than my desire to drop out of college. Slowly add 5 to 5.5 cups of powdered sugar. Christmas time means sugar time. You can use a stand mixer. I'm just easily frightened by machinery. Done. Now you might need more or less powdered sugar. You're just looking for a workable dough. Parchment. More powdered sugar. Hello, Dolly. To the freezer. Now over a double boiler, we melt 4 cups of chocolate. Adding to it 2 teaspoons of shortening. Get off with the spoon! Fire! Then once your chocolate is melted and your patties are firm, you take a fork. And then, woo! It's a little bit messy. They don't stop. To the fridge. Woo! Yes! Look at that. You can do that. 10 out of 10. How are these so perfect? Broiled humdingers from 1967. Don't ask. This is a Spam recipe, one of mid-century America's favorite things, right up there next to big cars and being prejudiced. First up, we put our can of Spam in a blender. It's gonna be one of those days, huh? Perfect. If this red flag was any bigger, it would be a blanket. To the ground Spam, we add a teaspoon of mustard plus 2 tablespoons of ketchup, which is spelled catsup. Why? 1/4 cup of moo juice and 1/2 cup of oats. I just don't understand. Are there worse things than this? Doubt it. You know, jokes aside, I'm quite disturbed by this. The next step is to strain our can of halved peaches. Of course it is. The epitome of logic. I think I'm becoming jaded. Peaches onto a baking sheet. Form some patties. Squish. Broil these on the top rack for 10 minutes. Maybe they'll disappear. Well, some didn't make it, which is unfortunate because it means some did. Well, that was utterly horrendous. Thank you. Milcorno from the Great Depression. What is the cheapest food? Was the question asked at the height of the Depression. So food scientists at Cornell came up with this. We start with a cup of cornmeal. So far, so good. Then 1/2 cup of powdered milk. That didn't last long. Teaspoon of salt. Mixed into a saucepan with 3 cups of water. Chunky. Bring to a prolonged boil. Ah! Just how prolonged is this boil? It's done. Now, if this were to be your dinner, you'd add some tomato sauce and some pepper. For dessert, a touch of molasses and cinnamon. Tastes like a wet blanket. They're all so sad, like depressed polenta, oatmeal that needs therapy, unemployed grits.
Potato donuts from the Great Depression. Now I say that disrespecting donuts should carry a life sentence, so let's see if we're going to jail today, huh? Peel and boil 2 russets. You know, a lot of things start with potatoes. French fries, hash browns, famine, communism. Potatoes are finished when they're soft. Yes, I've noticed that with men, too. Once the potatoes are cool, we add a cup of buttermilk, pack of yeast, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of soda. Half cup of melted butter. Don't kill the yeasty boys. They're working very hard. 4 eggs. Add enough flour to make a dough. Putting your faith in the wrong man. Sugar! 2 cups! Told you not to trust me. This took about 6.5 cups of flour. Now we let it rise for an hour. This is the first time we're deep frying. Cinnamon sugar. Oh! Best donut I've made. A poor man's pie from 1949. Now this has to be the simplest pie recipe I've seen during my time on this earth. I'm not even sure this is going to make a pie. But first, pastry. Good afternoon, Mr. Pastry. How you been? How's the wife? How you like that? Welcome to the real world. For the filling... For the filling, we have a pint of cream, cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of flour, and that's it. If this is a pie filling, then I'm Captain America. And then in it goes. We do get to sprinkle nutmeg on top. How extravagant. In this goes at 425 until it sets like a custard. I have no idea. It looks upset. Well, it's great, so long as you don't have to eat it. It's sweet goop. I don't get it. Because now I'm still a poor man just with a mediocre pie. The dump cake from '68. So post-World War II saw the invention of the cake mix, but for some Americans that was still too much work. And so the dump cake was invented. Let's take a dump. Directly into an oiled baking dish goes 20 ounces of pie filling. Goodbye, cherries. Then we just dump cake mix on top. This is sacrilegious, preposterous, daft. Melt a cup of butter. And you just dump that on too. Then you get to bake your dump. Golly gee. $3.75 for 50 minutes. This is for people who hate baking. And I don't like those people. We have a done dump. It's fresh. Fresh dump. It's an unenthusiastic cobbler. I mean, yeah, it's all right, but it's all wrong. If you're going to bake, bake. A cake should be an occasion, not a disfigured dump on a plate. A peanut pie from 1941, courtesy of the Caro Kid, who I can only describe as an infant male escort. Ready? Work with me here. You need a haircut. Any big plans for the weekend? Whole cup of Caro. A cup of sugar. So you want sugar with your sugar. Diabetes go eggy shell. You didn't see anything. Margarine. Vanilla. 8 ounces of peanuts. All right. Stop looking at me. Avast! Oh, God. What have you done? Oh. Demon baby! What did I do? It tastes like crunchy diesel. Chocolate zucchini bread from 1968. Now, when I think of zucchini, I think of good barbecues, summer salads. Men, just not dessert. But we start such a dessert with a cup of flour, half cup of cuckoo, chocolate bite, and a teaspoon of floof soda. Now we melt a 1/4 cup of margarine. Beep. A 1/4 cup of an oil of my choosing. Guessing 10W30 wouldn't work. Cup of brown sugar. 2 eggs. For the zucchini, we need 1.5 cups shredded, skin and all. I hate zucchini. Doesn't taste bad, it just makes me feel insufficient. Wet, dry, mixed. This isn't just a chocolate cake recipe with a bit of zucchini. No, this has more zucchini than flour. 50 minutes at 350. Goodness gracious, cease and desist! Come on. It's really quite brilliant. It deepens the chocolate, keeps it nice and moist. I don't make the rules.
Of all the things to hate on this green earth, there's one thing I hate the most, and that is the moth. Because never before has there existed a more dense tart of a creature. I mean, they literally eat sweaters. Who looks at a sweater and says, oh, perfect, I think I'll eat it? You know, I've always wanted to ask them, how does it feel that your entire civilization can be brought to its knees by a street lamp? Hey man, how are you? Oh, you know. What did you just say to me? Oh, you know. No! I don't know! If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you! Hey man, it's just a saying. Do I look like the FBI? the KGB, the YMCA. It's not even. Are you dense? No, I'm just, holy sh...
A millionaire pie from 59. I tell you, I could never be a millionaire. I'd end up buying like 3,000 Pop-Tarts. Or ducks. I quite like ducks. To 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs, we add a 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of melted butter.
So begins the graham cracker crust. Uniformity is of utmost importance.
Blind bake the shell at 375 for 15 minutes. Blind baking is when you put the shell in the oven with 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, pound of crushed pineapple, drained of course, cup of sweetened coconut. How much sugar do you want in this? A jar of chopped maraschino cherries. A lot. Beep at me one more time. So sticky. How are they so red? In go the cherries and 1/4 of the juice. 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. Juice of a lemon. Yee. To top it off, in goes a tub of Cool Whip. Hope y'all know some dentists. Good night. Good morning. You are pink. Whoa, Nelly. Woo. I say, this is camp. I don't hate it. Over the top, outdated mid-century camp. Chocolate cottage cheese cookies from 1955. This was given to me by my friend Shelby. It's called Quick Dishes for the Woman in a Hurry. In a hurry to take a dump. We start with a cup of margarine. It's like butter, but terrible. 2 cups of sugar. Now we beat. That tracks for the 50s. 2 eggs. Then an entire cup of cottage cheese. I hate cottage cheese. It looks like it's listening to me. Chunky. For dry ingredients, we need 3 cups of flour, a teaspoon of floof powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of floof soda. 1/2 cup of cocoa. Get in! Finish with nuts. Don't have to ask me twice. Mix. 10 minutes, 350. Hello. Oh. Now that's just a good cookie. It is distinctly different, but good.
So I get this question a lot, and the simple answer is there aren't any. Even when seatbelts were an option in the 60s, buyers rarely bought them. The next question, of course, is that legal? And the answer is yes. If your car was not manufactured with seatbelts originally from the factory, like this 1963, then you're under no obligation to wear them. You can't get a ticket. You can't get a fine. Basically meaning if you're driving a car that was built before 1965, the law doesn't apply to you. By no means does that mean it's safe, though. Even if the car is fine, if I ever get into any serious accident, I will be in all 4 corners of this vehicle simultaneously. If you got them, wear them. Why does every building in Bermuda have these strange-looking roofs? Well, it's a necessity. When you're an island this small, surrounded by the Atlantic, there's no fresh water. So our roofs are the only way to catch water. Rain here is not wasted. No, it's collected on these roofs and then stored in every house's tank. With no city plumbing or freshwater utilities, these tanks are essentially it, which means every house needs to conserve. 5-minute showers are considered long. And the roofs are white because they're painted with a special sanitary limestone wash. They're stepped because there's then more surface area to catch water. It's something Bermuda's been doing for a long time, even if you might find it a bit strange.
Last known confirmed sighting of the Loch Ness Monster wasn't here.
This sign is radioactive. But Dylan, you say that looks like any other exit sign, and I say true, but this one will stay illuminated by itself for up to 30 years. It's powered by tritium, a heavy radioactive isotope of hydrogen that's created in nuclear reactors. It has a beta decay that causes phosphors to glow in a process known as radioluminescence. Kinda spooky. Unlike other isotopes, tritium is relatively harmless unless you're dense enough to eat this stupid stuff, but nevertheless it's pretty fun knowing that this glow is nuclear. A polka dot prune loaf from 1951. So we're either going to be polka dotting the loaf or polka dotting the toilet. I know where I've got my money. Start by cooking 28 prunes, which is actually 28 too many. Water! 3 cups of Bisquick mix. Not sure if I'm curious or scared. Eggy moo juice! Now we form a dough. I wanted to make this last year, but I couldn't because there was a toilet paper shortage. Roll out and cut into 28 squares. Don't look at me. I couldn't tell you where this is going. I just know it's the wrong destination. Melted butter. Sugar. Then we wrap and dip each prune before going into a loaf pan. This has to be the most complicated laxative on the planet. Dip, spice, in the pan. Keep the balls arranged closely. That is solid advice. First row done. Row 2. Top the 3rd row with nuts and bake. I don't know about this. Between the Bisquick and the prunes, it's just very odd. Plus, it's liable to punish the porcelain. A Civil War cake. Of course it uses lard. Why not? Honey, call the police. 2 cups of raisins. It's always the raisins. Add 1 egg of lard. What are you feeding your chickens? You happy? Sister. Ah, fire! A cup of coffee. No. 1 cup of coffee. This is a misdemeanor. I think I've summoned something. Brown sugar! Eggy! Lord! What do you want me to do with this? Call the CDC. This is the South's revenge.
এত সুন্দর শাড়ি আপনি পছন্দ করলেন কেমনে?
যেমন তোমারে পছন্দ করছি।
কি এইটা?
এটা দুম্বার বাচ্চা।
পুরো খালি মস্করা করে।
খাসির মাংস করতেছিলা?
মনে আছে আপনার?
ভাবির কইতে যখন এত অসুবিধা বাদ দেন, আগে তো কতবার কইছেন।
আপনি দেখছো এটা কোনো কথা? আপনি আমার ডর হইলেন কেন?
দুধ পাইলা কই, চা পাতা পাইলা কই? আমার আনতে কইছিল, আমি তো আনি নাই। ছাগল কিনা টেহা শেষ।
আমরা বাচ্চা কাচ্চা নেই না কেন? আমার কোনো সমস্যা আছে নাকি? আরে হইছে ছাড়েন। আরে কেউ দেখা ভালাইবো। দূর।
এত পূর্ণ আমি কোন সময় উঠছিলাম? আল্লাহ তোমার মতো একটা মানুষ আমার কি লেগে দিব। দেন চেক করে দেন, চেক করে দেন।
আল্লাহ গো! এইটা আমাগো ছাগল। আল্লাহ, এইবার এই ছাগল দিয়ে আমরা কুরবানি দিব।
ভাত খেয়ে যা।
না না, খাওয়ান লাগবো না। আমি যে বাড়িতে না ভাত তরকারি রাইন দিয়েছি।
উট কুরবানিতে ঢাকানো লাগবো। এখন ইন্টারনেটের যুগ, ফেসবুকে ছবি দেখো।
জুতো নাই, থাকলে জুতো দিয়ে পিটাইতাম। চলেন, আসেন।
হ্যাঁ, এরম ফুটানি মাইরাই বেড়ায়, দুনিয়া দাঁত দানা করছে। কিরে খাড়াই রয়েছিস কেন? খাওয়ান দিছি তো, খাইতে আয়।
দান খয়রাত নিতে আমি পারবো না, আমার শরম করে।
আরে বাবা, শরমের কি আছে?
আয়, পায়েস খাওয়া যাবি।
ও না, পরে মনে হন যাই।
আইস কিন্তু
অনেক মানুষ আছে না, আশের মতন ক্যাত ক্যাত করে গলা পর্যন্ত খায়, আমি পারি না। গরিবের বউ না তুমি, খাসি মাংস খাইতে পারতাছি না, 1 ঘন্টা ঘুরে আনি।
একটু হাসো, ফ্রি ফ্রি ছাগল পাইতাছো, সুইট করে হাসি দাও। ছেগাইয়া হাসতেছো কেন? একটু সুইট করে হাসো।
ও ভাবি, এত স্বাদের মাংস ফালাই দিলেন কেন?
খাসির মাংস আমি আনতে কইছিলাম আপনার লইগা, ভাবছিলাম মজা করে আপনারা রান্না খাওয়াবো।
কোন রঙে বানায়াছ ঘর খানি